Welcome to Women Lead TV, brought to you by Connected Women of Influence. I'm Michelle Bergquist, your host of Badass Business Women, and with me today is a badass businesswoman. I'm delighted to say my guest today, thank you for being my guest, Stephanie, is Stephanie Barneburg, and she is the CEO of Sparkle Freshness. I want to know what Sparkle Freshness is, and so do our viewers. What is Sparkle Freshness?
Oh, it sounds so great.
It's just such a great word.
It's such a great word,
it
right?
It is. I know there's meaning behind it, but what
Yeah.
what do you do for business? Because it's a great business name.
Well, it's funny that you ask, right? Because, what I do in business, it's like, I create offers and design offers in the marketplace to really, that's aligned with who I am and aligned with my values and my purpose that has me living true to my best life.
So I just felt like going like this when
right?
you said that. Totally.
But what I really do is I'm a CEO of Sparkle Freshness, which is a green commercial cleaning business.
You clean commercial buildings.
Yes, so we specialize in sustainability. So that means we're green, and we don't use toxic chemicals to clean. But our forte is post-construction cleans, offices, commercial buildings.
Do you do clean? I mean, do you do like what are those clean rooms like for biotech and things like that? Do they bring in commercial cleaners?
Yeah, absolutely,
Wow,
absolutely. It's
variety of scenarios. I would imagine.
Yeah, you can go anything from medical offices to, large buildings to, car dealerships. You name it.
Names. Well, I want to
gyms,
know what the heck
schools
made you start a business like this that is so. I mean, it's very male dominated. Am I right?
Right.
And you were this lovely woman. The first time I met you, I was like, "What do you do for business? That's crazy." So tell how you kind of got started and why did you start a commercial cleaning business?
Oh, such a great question.
With a great name, which we'll get into why that.
My husband picked out that name.
Did he? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Husbands are good for something. We're gonna go with that.
That was his 5 cents.
There you go.
But what made me start this business is, both my husband and I were in corporate America, and we were looking into our future, and we knew that we got a lot of great skills and a lot of great tools to provide us to work in life, and that we wanted to be able to raise kids on our terms, and we wanted to be there for them during the day when they were at school. So we're like,
that's so cool.
We want to work nights, but we didn't want to work your typical night jobs.
But you wanted to work nights. Both you and your husband said we're conscious. Okay, I've never heard
Which
you
is
say
yes,
that.
I know. It's badass right there.
Because you're home with the kids. You're there when you take them to school. You're there when they come home.
Right.
Wow, that's an interesting way to
we wanted
build your family.
We were like, okay, once they go to sleep, which we didn't realize that sleep time means 9 o'clock for kids. But once we put them to bed, that way they didn't get to experience mommy and daddy are away from work all the time.
And how many kids do you have?
I have 2 beautiful boys, 3 and 5.
Okay, so they're still super
6
cute.
actually, 3 and 6.
Do you just take them with you to sometimes the commercial cleaning, or is that never mama papoose or whatever, right?
That's funny because when we first, in the very beginning, I had my son very early. He was a preemie.
Oh.
And that's kind of what made us go green. I wouldn't say kind of. That is the reason why we went green. He was born a full 3 months early, and
there's a lot. That's a scary point to have a child at that. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So he's a beautiful, healthy boy, but we had talks with his neonatologist about our environment. And about bringing him home in our environment about a month before he was able to go home. And I'm like, you don't have to worry about my environment. My environment's clean. I own a cleaning company.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, just make sure that, people who clean your home, the housekeeper or people who come into your home, they don't bring toxic things into your home. And so the next day I go underneath the cabinet like a mad woman.
And look at all
because I'm still nesting.
Right.
I'm like, we gotta clean the house. And
you don't have to lock the doors yet for the little kids.
Yeah, exactly. He was early, but I was like, we haven't cleaned the house yet. So I went underneath the cabinet, and sure enough, every single product underneath my sink, with the exception of one, was toxic or poisonous and was linked to asthma.
No way.
Cancers, chemical burns, and even including death. just by mixing ammonia and bleach.
And for a baby or an infant and special needs at that time.
Yes.
I'm curious, because this is fascinating to me, because I
Yes.
don't think any of us know what we touch, we ingest, what we come across in the environment. But for you, what would be some tips you would give to some of our viewers, just what they can look out for? Even in the workplace especially, because we're about women in business and industry.
Right.
Home safety is great, but I'm like, in your work environment, you don't know what's going up on the heating and the air ducts and all of that and what you're breathing all day long, which is where we spend our time.
And that's the reason why we started this
I think
business.
that's awesome. I've never heard anybody use it in that environment. I've heard people talking about, really good cleaning products, but not like you're saying.
Yeah, no, when we were talking about our environment.
I'm scared in the environment we're in right now. I'm kind of like, do we need to be checking?
It's okay, I've kind of checked while I was
We'll have
here.
you go sniff around and figure it out.
But no, in all seriousness, there's a lot of things, a lot of times people are under this misconception that it smells clean. Well, it's when you don't smell things, or when you smell things, it's too late.
Right.
Right? We all can smell, we all know what bleach smells like.
Right. It smells clean.
It smells
or
clean.
It's toxic sometimes.
But
to
it's
some people.
extremely toxic.
Wow.
Extremely toxic. And yeah, it can cause chemical burns. And you never want to use, talking about safety, you never want to wipe off a surface or wipe something down that has ammonia and then go back over it with something that has bleach. Because those two ingredients mixed together will lead to death.
Oh my gosh.
Just those fumes being in the air can help, could lead to death.
Now okay, so we have just limited time, but I'm going, how did you even research all this? Did you just get into it and geek out on cleaners?
New mom, and then you're getting into there's no way I'm going to have this around my children. Then going, oh my God, I wouldn't want this for my employees or my clients. Ooh. It's going to be my job to educate, right? And then I became the doctor of Google.
Google is the doctor.
Google, I
became
a university expert. I think I have a PhD in Google.
I love it.
And there's words that I can't even still to this day pronounce. I know how to spell them, but you don't understand what they are. Wow. So I just started Googling and researching every ingredient that's on the labels. And I didn't really, what I found was you can actually use products that are bio-based, plant-based, or safer choice that is just as effective as using toxic chemicals.
Or even, I think of my grandmother and those years where they, was it borax and water? Again, just kind of like those pieces. And now it's like you buy a bottle because of the brand name.
Yeah.
And wow. Do you feel that that's been a real game changer for you as a woman-owned business to let a company know that this is really our specialty of these types of cleaning products? Do you find clients and customers, they like that? Are they receptive to it? Do they care? Is it?
I get a mixed bag.
Okay.
And it's really my job to make sure I educate.
Yeah.
And, our company is, we have that primary focus on educating our clients. Mm-hmm. And, we plant 100 trees for every client that we have. That way we can offset our carbon footprint. So it's talking about things like that. It's making sure that, people have a global awareness. It's not just what's in our environment here, but what those toxic chemicals go into the ocean. And then we look at our plant life and our sea life and the effects that that's having on it. Is, it's not just global warming, which is the big environment as well, but it's look what we're doing to our sea life.
What I love about you and getting to know you is that you've got this full circle economics. Again, business is great because we need to make more than we spend, which is a profit. We get it. That's what we need to do, right? Yep. But the other part is you're giving back, you're making your footprint smaller. How was this something that just came to you, or is that for you and your husband you kind of talked about as your purpose and mission in business? How did that come about?
Yeah, so it's kind of getting that, like you said, you can go after, and we could be a big company and just be all about it for the money, but that's not really that doesn't go down to the core of who I am.
It's not the heart center for you.
And it's not the heart center for me. And what I got clear was what my mission was, what my vision is, what our company stands for.
Right.
And we want to be able to have, there's 7.5 billion people on the planet. We want to
You
be
just
able to
knew that
have
fun fact? I mean, again, we talked in
Google.
Google. Okay.
PhD.
Let's look up something else right now. It's like, well, how many? No, I'm
yeah,
just teasing.
I'm not that smart, but yeah, I mean, there's so
You're
many
smart.
people on the planet. We want to be able to have drinkable water for everybody on the planet. There should be no reason why we don't have drinkable water for everybody.
And then you think of the ocean with all those plastics.
With all the plastics and all the trash and the sewage and spills and stuff like that. So, yeah, we started a company where, we just wanted to, be the Nordstroms of cleaning and provide a really good product and be able to be, service oriented. But it has completely spiraled into this initiative, which is our mission, which we want people to experience connection and joy. And that's hard. How do you do that in a cleaning business,
but here's
right?
a question. So as a business owner and as a leader, what have you found, has there ever been a scenario where it was almost in conflict? It's like, have you ever turned down a client because it's like they either didn't care or they weren't worried about it, or they put you in those ethical positions where you're like, it's outside of my purpose and values. And how did you handle that?
And
tell us who. No, I'm just joking.
It does happen. You do, you have to, and that's what one great thing that I love about, who I am in our business is because you have to walk that fine line. And then when you start to weigh in on and let your integrity fail and not really stay aligned to your mission and your purpose and your integrity, then you can get down that slippery slope. And I've had clients like, hey, can you just bleach down? Can you button up? No.
Good for you.
No,
that's cool. Standards, right?
Yeah.
Standards.
And then I have to get them represents to the reason why we're green. Our clients love their employees. They're advocates for their employees. I'm an advocate for their employees. I'm an advocate for their health and their safety, and that comes first.
That's great. I love that. How long have you been in business? How many years?
About 8 years.
8 years. Okay, and I know for all of that, it's just a perfect scenario.
Yep.
There's never any stumps or bumbles, right?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
totally
perfect.
joking. It's perfect. But I want
perfect.
you to share with our viewers, because I don't think people know unless you've been there. It's like, we all want things to go according to plan in building our business, right? And I love your purpose and your mission and your values. But just touch on it for a couple of minutes. We got only a couple of minutes left. Maybe some of the things that you feel were surprises to you, or maybe one that's very impactful that you went, man, I wish I would have known that before I started. And what'd you learn from that? Okay. I can list about 50 of them because, a long time in business, and I'm like, never perfect, but lots and lots of learning lessons.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, when you hear entrepreneur, right? You think like, oh my gosh, like
they just got it together.
I'm just going to create my own hours, and that's
rain-making money coming in.
The naivete that I think me and my husband thought, like, yeah, we can just do this, and we got this, and then you get more clients, and then you're like, okay, I've got to bring on more people. And then it's all of the practices from that, and then, knowing your value, knowing your worth.
So Stephanie, that's super cool, but I think all of us in business have had those really tough lessons.
Yes.
One that stands out more than others. And I think for me, it was, one, never spend the money until it's in the bank account, right? And realize that nothing's ever perfect.
Yeah.
And you just have to try and do. And then mine is we figure it out as we get there. So that's worked for me. What's something that maybe for you has been a tough decision, or one of those really essential keys to success that you can share with our viewers?
I would say there's a lot, right? And I would
start with one.
Start with one.
Let me give you the list.
If I had to pick my top one, it would probably make sure that your team has your shared mission, and they understand your values, and they understand your purpose and why they're actually there. Because I think a lot of times people will read your mission, and they're like, yeah, that sounds great, but like really knowing the cause and really knowing the effects of what they do, their intention is to fulfill on our mission.
And how do you share that? I mean, do you have meetings about it? I mean, how do you make that kind of come alive in the company? Because I love that.
Yeah.
I've heard, I know in corporate America they do it. You have to recite it and that kind of thing. But how do you help people live that? Because your employees are sometimes at night, you probably don't see all of them.
I'm very involved.
Okay, hands on.
You will still see me going out there scrubbing a toilet or two once, or I'll never ask someone to do something that they have not seen me done.
That's the best tip right
there. And
there. If I can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
absolutely.
All right, let's go inspirations. I want to leave one thing for our listening audience and our viewers that will be like, you got this, you can do it, no pressure. It's got to be big, so I'll make it good.
Okay,
pressure.
no pressure on
What do you got?
bigness. It's don't be ashamed to fail. And fail and fail and fail and fail. Embrace failure. That's the only way you succeed. I failed very early on in business, and I failed at a company before I started this company. And don't let that knock you down. You have to have mindset. You have to push forward. And if it's something that's truly your passion, keep going. Learn from that mistake, and you got to just also put on your big girl panties and just think, okay, don't take it personal, which is hard not to.
Yeah.
But how many of our leaders out there in the world, our Oprahs, our Bill Gates, have?
I so want to be that though. I so want to be Oprah.
But how many times has she failed? How many?
That's what she'll say. Tons. Fall down, get up.
Fall down, get up. And I think we have like this big facade, and we like wrap it around where it's just like it's shameful to fail, right? Remember getting you didn't get an F in school, but like if you got like a bad grade, right? It was that shame that you felt like don't do that again. It's like in business, you have to fail to succeed.
So we're going to wrap up, and I'm going to say the 4-letter word today is fail, and then we're going to put forward. So fail forward. There's a book on it, but I want to say thank you to you. You're awesome. I want to have you back. Thank you to our viewing audience. We're going to be back again with another Women Lead TV segment, and that is it. And today it's about fail and learn and be perseverant. So thank you for watching.